Finally, we come to Camp CommUNITY, perhaps the signature program of the Multicultural Alliance and the best known. Camp CommUNITY is a leadership camp for high school students. This program has been empowering students to become responsible leaders since 1982. Over 2,000 high school students have been impacted by Camp CommUNITY, and that impact is demonstrated in multiple ways. Many students write their experience for their college essay. The selection of college majors and even careers is often shaped by the camp experience. And most importantly, the delegates live intentionally by expressing compassion, understanding, and fairness. Here to share his experience with Camp CommUNITY, please help me welcome Jacinto Ramos.
Good evening. Buenas tardes. Miren. You know, I've got 5 minutes, and to describe camp in 5 minutes is impossible. It really is. So I've narrowed it down to 3 bullet points. First one is going to be, what is camp? And for any of you who may not have ever had the privilege to have been to camp or seen camp and witnessed it, I'm tasked with telling you kind of what it is. And the truth is that as I recruit every year to take young people to this camp, I still struggle to find the exact words. And you would think that after almost 2 decades of recruiting or telling people about it, that I would have had this down already. But as I visit with ex-delegates and camp staff, we usually hear the words life-changing. It changed my life, is what people say, but I can't really describe to you what happened and how it happened. I just know that it had an impact in my life. It's something that we know as camp staff, and I have the privilege of serving as co-director of this camp in the last couple of years, and it's something that we know that starts with the self. And who are we? What am I about? And what am I to do in this world? And the journey after 5-day residential camp takes us to what are we going to do to change this world? What impact are we going to leave? What legacy are we going to leave? How are we going to make this a better place for everyone? You know, it's a place where camp staff, volunteers, give their whole week, take vacation from work. People such as Amy Lou, who's in the audience, Ricky Clark, myself, who take a week of vacation to volunteer their time because it's something that we believe in. And knowing that there's college students to do the same. My goodness, for them to plan their whole schedule around something like this speaks volumes. We know and understand that camp is sometimes described by one-word descriptors, and this is a place where I learned this. So I'm going to ask, I got to share the love with camp staff. Anyone that's camp staff, please stand at this moment. We got them in the house. There we go. Now, camp staff, I'm going to challenge you as we do the young people at camp. One word descriptor of what you think camp is to you. What do you feel when you think about camp? Ricky, we'll start with you.
Life-changing.
That's 2, Ricky, you cheating. Glappy.
Glad it happened.
Liz. Wow. Love. Look at that. Accepting, belonging. Thank you, camp staff. You know, it's a place where some people become aware of the world that we live in and some become validated. And for me, as a son of immigrant parents, a father from Acuña, Coahuila, 3rd grade education, a mother from Morelia, Michoacán, with an 8th grade education, they equipped me with the best of what they could, and they did the best that they could with what they had. And with that, they made sure that I went to camp. And people like you sponsored my opportunity to get to camp because I could not financially afford that. And when I got to camp and I experienced everything that everybody's describing, I experienced utopia. I experienced heaven on earth. Because as a young, marginalized Mexican American in Fort Worth, I felt every bit of oppression almost in any place that I went. And I couldn't find my parents could not find the words to tell me what it was that I was experiencing. They did not know what marginalized and oppressed was, other than to tell me stories of their journey to come into this country, having the dreams of what their son could have. And it's that place also where this gentleman, Ricky Clark, who's my mentor, gave me the lines that I could not love the fruit if I did not love the root. And at that time, it was with my heritage. And it transpired and transgressed into something more meaningful. That the root of who I am is to be a father. The root of who I am is to be a husband. The root of who I am is to be a servant of my community. And then also it was the root to me having a relationship with my God. But it wouldn't have happened if I didn't know who I was and if I wasn't proud to look in the mirror and look at this person of Mexican indigenous blood, Perupicha indigenous people, to say, this is who I am. And I can fit in this world. And I have a place in it, and I can function. And so I'll close with telling you what the impact of camp has had, not only in my life, but in a lot of other people's. You know, as I watch the news feeds from our young people who have been to camp and describe on Twitter and on the Facebook, as some people call it, Instagram, to describe the hurt and the pain that they feel because what they experienced at camp is a reality for them. That they will often retweet or say something as to, I wish they'd have gone to Camp Anytown or Camp ComMUNITY. I wish that they could experience what I experienced, to know that hatred is taught in this world and that love can conquer everything. And as a father of 3 sons, I am concerned with what I see on the news and what I see happening in our country. I have 3 sons who I have raised, and my wife and I, Anita, have raised them to be proud of their Mexican heritage, but also of their American heritage. That we can raise our boys and know that they're going to get a fair shot in this world. That the privilege that we talk about at camp equals power. And power is something that we are to use wisely and well. You know, my biggest pride is in being a husband and a father of 3 boys. I am a TCU adjunct professor now. I am a Fort Worth ISD school board trustee. I am a Tarrant County Juvenile Services probation officer. I am a youth minister. But it is because of this camp that I know who I really am. That I am the husband to that person right there, Anita. That I am the father to Juan Marcos Ramos, Andres Samuel Ramos, and Antonio Daniel Ramos. The 3 boys that are going out into this world to know that they're going to make an impact. You know, I got to say that at Fort Worth ISD, I know people ask me a lot of questions, so what's going on at the school board? I got to give a 30-second spiel. I have taken MCA and Camp ComMUNITY everywhere that I go. If you visit with my students from Texas Christian University, they will describe to you what it was like to experience camp for 1 semester. I interviewed today with a TCU group that asked me how it is that we're having these tough conversations, and I told them they are courageous conversations because it takes courage for us to have them in every environment that we're in. In Fort Worth ISD, we are having courageous conversations. They are courageous conversations that I do not believe have always been there, but they are there now. And it is with the leadership skills and the ability that I've been taught through this organization that has impacted me so much that everywhere I go, I love to wear the t-shirt that says, what, camp staff? What are the words in the back? Be yourself, be heard, and belong. And at the end of the day, I got to give you my 2 words. Ricky, you stole my 2-word checkout. As Dr. Martin Luther King said, that power without love is reckless and abusive. And love without power is sentimental and anemic. And it is there at Camp ComMUNITY where I learned, as we do circle sing, which symbolizes the everlasting love that we can have with one another, that I have taken that with me in my heart and in my soul, understanding that power has to come with love. And love has to come with power, because one without the other, I cannot succeed at what I do. And it is because of that that I had the guts to run to be a Fort Worth ISD school board trustee, to represent the neighborhood in which I came from and which I represent, and gladly and proudly do. And opposite of my parents teaching me that I am a first generational Mexican American to stay humble. Mom and Dad, I will do my best. But I'm going to tell my parents all day, every day, that it is camp that taught me how to hug my children and love on my wife and love on my parents, because my parents could not tell me, and they still cannot tell me they love me to my face because of the upbringing they had. But remember I said they're doing the best that they can with what they have. And I love them and I forgive them for that, but I am the one to hug them and kiss them on a regular basis because camp taught me that. And camp taught me to embrace the power that I've been given, because we know and we believe in the power of one. And as Fort Worth ISD trustee, I believe in the power of one, and I hope that you'll stay tuned to see all the great things that are going to be coming out of our district here and in the future. Thank you very much.